This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And if you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World soon, or looking forward to perhaps a trip later this year, maybe you're already looking forward to 2010, trying to, it's getting a little cold now, and say, you know what, Florida really sounds like a great place to go right now because I could really go for some warm weather. Well, why not call the travel agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel and book something for you? It could be something quick, it could be a cool weekend trip, or it could be a nice, as our British listeners call, a fortnight trip where you go there for 2 weeks. Regardless of the length, duration, where you're staying, how much you're spending, you know what? The travel agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel will take care of you. They'll do all that little stuff for you. So that way, you can concentrate on soaking up the heat if that's what you're really into, or just enjoying Walt Disney World. Give them a try. Visit them online at www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, October 21st, 2009, and this is episode 633 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Mike,
yes.
I remember the thing I need clarification on.
Oh, okay, yes.
It's a grill and a cooler?
It's a grueler.
It's a grueler.
But it's a grill and a cooler?
It's a kill.
Also, that's a Stacy joke over there.
Yes.
Philip will put a link in the show notes for those who have no clue what we're talking about.
Yes.
Thanks, Philip.
Thank you, Philip. Also joining us on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Mike?
Hey, partners.
Frontierland.
Toy Story Mania.
Mr. Hutch. Yes.
Ooh.
Who says it?
Len.
Says
Len.
The girl.
Jesse?
Jessie.
No, Woody.
No,
right
it's,
at the beginning. For the practice run.
Stinky Pete?
No, it's Woody. He says,
Woody.
When he talks about the practice, remember the practice that you do before you really start the...
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I still remember that. I remember the first time, Len, I rode with Bob, and Bob is not exactly... he wouldn't fit in a Hannah Montana concert, if you know what I mean. He's not that peppy kind of guy. He's a great guy, don't get me wrong. But I've never seen him so eager to ride.
That's right. You were talking about it afterwards.
Yeah,
You're like,
that was awesome. Let's go ride again.
Bob loved it. Yeah, he thought it was great.
Well, also, if I'm talking about Bob, that of course means I'm talking with Len. Len Testa, co-author of the Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, man?
And Len, I want to alert all of our listeners to a very, very, very funny article you wrote on the touringplans.com blog.
Oh, thanks.
About it's not a story, it's the truth, isn't it? About the land grab at Fantasyland.
It's actual.
Yeah. So I have a blog, right? So it's thanks.
It's a grill and a cooler.
So I did we're working on a color photo guidebook of Walt Disney World, and I got the job of redoing. So this is like a once in a lifetime thing, redoing all of the attraction descriptions for all 4 parks. So it's something that we'll probably want to do for 20 years.
Wow.
And I reimagined the Fantasyland expansion as a revolution, a coup d'état by the princesses against Mickey and Minnie, and so it's on the blog. It's kind of funny.
It's very nice.
Thanks. Yeah. So wait. So if we got time at the end, I'll read you the new Stitch's Great Escape update because it's hysterical too. I reimagined it as a breakup letter from me and Bob to Stitch.
Nice.
If we get time, I'll do it.
It's Wednesday, and we're answering your listener questions. We'll start out with an email from Lee, who wrote, "Just listen to the podcast. It sounds like we'll be doing Whispering Canyon for sure." We helped Lee on last Monday's show. Remember, we helped plan his trip. Because Kim Possible also sounds like a great way to enjoy Epcot. The Animation Academy sounds really good. Both of my older kids love drawing. If there's one thing that I have determined from listening to your 600-plus episodes, it's that we want to try some different things. Using the Unofficial Guide will help us get the must-do attractions done quickly and leave us open to do some things we haven't done before. And I think I hold the record for the quickest show. Thanks, everyone, for the help. And Len, let's be BFFs. He says, we can go see a Rockets game.
That's true. We could.
Yeah, but Hakeem's not on there anymore, so do you really care about the Rockets?
I kind of watch them once in a while. I like Yao Ming. I'm a sucker for foreign-born centers.
Next email is from Andy Poole, who writes, "Greetings, dear WDW Today legends and Matt." Only kidding. What would the show be without Matt? Oh, I got a Len intro there.
It'd be very calm and relaxing. Nothing?
Haven't you ever heard the show when you're not on?
Andy from Northern England here, a.k.a. ACP on the chat, comments, forums, etc. Writes, "I'm heading out to the world February 28th for 14 nights at Scopa Towers and I have a couple questions for you. Hopefully, you'll get round to them before I go, or I'll just have to ask you in person at Tent Fest, even though it'll probably be a bit late by then. That's right. Don't forget we're doing Tent Fest in early March for the same weekend as the Princess Marathon, whatever that happens to be. Andy writes, I'm thinking of doing a couple of tours, namely Keys of the Kingdom at the Magic Kingdom and the Segway around the world at Epcot. How far in advance do these need to be booked? I was thinking of doing them in the second week of the trip, so would it be doable to book them while I'm there, or would it be better to book them way in advance, and if so, how far in advance?
Yeah, I booked mine like a couple of weeks in advance for the Epcot Segway tour, and that was plenty.
I thought the tours, I could be wrong about this, but I thought you can only book them like 90 days out.
I think that's true. The other thing is too, if you're flexible on the time, if you can go at 7:30 or you can go at 9:45, or
right.
The times in between, then you're fine too.
Yeah, and certainly, Andy, I'm not sure what kind of a touring schedule you have. If you're like locked into a specific schedule and look, this tour has to be on this day and it's got to be like Lynn said, it's got to be a 7 a.m. tour, or I'm not doing this, then it's obviously going to behoove you to book it well in advance. But if you're, you don't really care, if it's just as long as that second week and, it doesn't really matter what time, then certainly it won't be that much of an issue. But I think a couple weeks, out would be fine. For the tours, do you have to pay the tours when you book them, or can you pay for the tour when you're there? My package comes with a free $350 Disney gift card, as per the current United Kingdom offer. So I was thinking of paying for the tours with that.
It's a great question. I thought it required payment in advance because they took my credit card and payment information when I
when you booked it.
When I booked it, but then we had to go sign waivers, and I'm thinking you might be able to change your payment method then.
Noel, do you remember when you booked your Segway tours at Fort Wilderness?
Yeah, they didn't charge us or anybody else that was with the group once we were there. It was all paid for in advance, and there was no option for us to change or to pay.
I'm wondering if Andy could go there when he goes to check in and maybe change the payment method over there, because I suspect they don't really.
Well, the setup there, there's no cash register or anything like that, so it's. I mean, I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, maybe not. Right. Thanks once again, chaps and Chapette, if present, for the entertainment. Whilst I walk down the street at lunchtime, getting strange looks from passersby as I chuckle away to myself. Well, chuckle away at you, but since passersby can't hear what I'm listening to on my iPod, it looks like I'm chuckling to myself. Looking forward to seeing you at Tent Fest 2010. Pip pip. Thank you, Andy.
Is he staying in a tent or is he coming in an RV like the rest of us?
First of all, we're not going in an RV, and second of all,
Heck yeah.
Absolutely going in an RV.
he hasn't quite committed to it yet, but I'm working on it.
RV.
Ooh. Next email is from Kevin Crossman of Fremont, California. Writes, I'm pleased as punch to see that Len has come around to embrace Disney's most underappreciated theme park, Animal Kingdom. I saw the new 2010 unofficial guide and saw that of all the hundreds of attractions, restaurants, and resorts in Walt Disney World, Len and the editors decided to put Primeval World on the cover. Is that true?
Are you kidding me?
So it is true. Primeval World.
Say it ain't so, Len. Say it
was on the
ain't
cover.
so.
It wasn't. So yeah, thanks by the way for reading the book, but that wasn't my decision, so I can't take credit. I'm not taking credit for that particular one.
So we'll have to lynch somebody else. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Right. So Len, what's up with the choice of this derided attraction for the cover of the book? Even though I'm a big Animal Kingdom fan, even I wouldn't think of putting this ride on the cover to represent all of Walt Disney World. Even though I do like the ride part of the attraction, even though I can't agree the theming is very good.
So the apparently the decision was, not really, the decision was that the photo had to show people having fun, and
you chose that road.
That begs the question.
And we had already used like all the good rides with exterior photos, Big Thunder, Splash, we had either used in previous editions of the book or we were using for another book already. So I don't know. I looked at it and I said Primeval World?
Yeah, I mean that's like drafting like Willie McGahee as your number one draft pick in your fantasy football league. I mean, it's just don't do that.
Did you just insult Willis McGahee?
I think I did.
Willis McGahee?
But you wouldn't pick him number one, would you?
Willis McGahee is one of the finest. He's a former Hurricane. He is the most inspirational. If I have only two heroes that are not Pittsburgh Steelers, Willis McGahee is. I have his jersey from the University of Miami. I run in it for inspiration. Do you know why? Do you know why?
Uncle.
Don't get me started.
Too late.
All right, never mind.
All I'm saying, the NCAA has an institutional bias against the University of Miami Hurricanes. We were not allowed to win the Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State. It cost Willis McGahee probably the better part of his pro football career, and I will never forgive that.
I thought your hero was Big Papa Pump.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I run in Willis McGahee's number 2 Miami jersey. Have it downstairs.
but seriously, Primeval World.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I really don't.
I'm going to Newell. You and I have to come up with some bootleg covers that people can buy to put on top of it.
A little slip cover.
Little brown paper bag thing.
That's right. Next email is from Craig Wheeler of Akron, Ohio. Writes, Mangello, gentlemen, and Annette.
Flyers.
Just wanted to start out by saying that I love the show. It is slap my grandmother good. That's a line that hasn't said in a while. Curious if any of you have tried the mythical Dole Runner. You know, the adult snack that requires sneaking contraband into the Magic Kingdom. It's hard to go wrong mixing rum and pineapple juice. Add the float of Dole Whip on top, and it must be heaven.
See, this is thinking. This is fabulous. Who is this? What's our listener's name?
Craig Wheeler.
Craig Wheeler, you are the listener of the week. I'm telling you right now. This, gentlemen, this is thinking.
Newell.
That's what made this damn country great.
Yes.
Anyway, next email is from Michael Salamana of Honolulu, Hawaii.
Aloha.
Mahalo. Who writes, on my last trip this past week, I noticed a few things that were most decidedly among my party very un-Disney. I don't know if this was a very big warning sign of things to come. That might be an interesting show topic. The first was on the monorail from Magic Kingdom to the TTC. A lady in a wheelchair had been at the front of the pack and as the loading doors slid open, a father and his son pushed her to the side and made it first to the monorail. Wow. He was a jerk, yes. But what the cast members did really was what really surprised me. They stopped people from entering the monorail and walked up to the man and his son and then proceeded to exit the monorail and stand next to the loading doors as the doors once again opened and everyone loaded ahead of them with them standing and watching. Another time was being herded into an area to view the second showing of Fantasmic and saw an elderly cast member call out a father shouting over the crowd. Kind of makes me sad seeing being an ex-cast member myself.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's unfortunately, you know, when guests are behaving badly, I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. And certainly, I think doing something is better than doing nothing. I think it sends the wrong message completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not an easy way oftentimes to deal with guests behaving badly. I mean, you're not really going to call security in that kind of situation. You just have to kind of deal with it. It doesn't mean that what the cast member did was correct by any means. Certainly not something they'd probably advocate at Traditions, which is the training program that cast members go through. But, you know, unfortunately, sometimes these kinds of things happen. It's just human nature,
Yeah, it's
unfortunately.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Next email is from Amanda from Aurora, Illinois, who writes, I love the podcast. It's getting me through a really tedious project at work. I have a couple of really broad questions. First, I'm planning to take a big trip to the world in October or November of 2010 to celebrate my 30th birthday. And by big, I mean more than 7 days, staying in a deluxe resort and eating at sit-down restaurants, something I've never done in 7 trips.
Nice.
The problem is I'm craving some Disney magic, and I'm very tempted to use some of my birthday budget to take a quick trip in September. Do you think the benefits of a long leisurely vacation outweighs 2 shorter trips with budget restrictions?
Now, we've always advocated multiple shorter trips.
Absolutely. I think if anything, Amanda, I mean, why not go for the annual pass? I mean, your long trip, you know, longer than 7 days. I mean, if you could factor in a little short trip there, I mean, that's going to make it there for you, and certainly that opens up a lot of opportunities for you. Scopa, what do you think?
I'm always thinking that we should always do a show that talks about how if I had a choice, I'd rather take 2 shorter trips than 1 long trip, because it's nice to look forward to a trip earlier than in having to wait. You know, you spend a lot of money on 1 long trip, then you have to save that much. It takes that much longer to save up to have another trip that long. I would take 5 short trips during the year than take 2 long trips anytime.
Interesting. Amanda adds, also, I'll probably be a solo traveler, as it's hard to find other people, and by people I mean men, in my age bracket who love the world as much as I do. Can I reasonably possibly enjoy myself on a long trip by myself? Any tips to make the best of it? Thanks for your entertainment and your discussion of topics that other podcasts don't get to.
Wow.
I mean, we've talked about solo touring before, but absolutely, Amanda. I think you can. I think we all agree, and we've all done it before, that you can go there and have a great time by yourself.
Yeah, but maybe 3 to 5 days. I don't know if what is the length of her long stay?
She just says more than 7. That's all.
I'd say after 5, you're looking for someone to say, "Hey, wasn't that cool?"
That's true. I mean, it's not all wonderful, but I think the benefits. I think it's definitely worth doing. I wouldn't tell her she shouldn't go to the trip. Would you?
I would say not to go, but I would also say if she was going to go on a shorter trip, 2 short trips, that would work solo better than a long trip solo, I think.
Interesting. Well, of course, Amanda, you could, you consider maybe moving your trip to the Tent Fest weekend, or maybe even Reunion, and there'll be a lot of us down there, so that
Stay in
can
an
kind of
RV.
help. Do that.
Stay in an RV
that?
like the rest of us.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
I mean the RV, right, Mike?
The RV.
The RV.
Next email is from D-Day of Austin, Texas.
D-Day.
D-Day.
She that's what it says, pronounced D-Day. D-I-D-E-Y. Writes,
Okay.
my whole family is planning to visit the world
Soon.
soon.
Welcome back.
I know. I tried to convince them to go in early spring or fall, but it didn't work. This will be my 3rd time visiting, and after my first visit, I decided to take that the best way for me to enjoy my trips is to have everything, or almost everything, paid for. Rooms, tickets, meals, and that way I can focus on souvenirs and any additional fun things I want to do without going into debt. For this trip, I'll be staying at Scopa Towers. I have 2 reservations. My first part is a full package with 8-day Magic Your-Way tickets and the quick service dining plan. My whole family will be there. Then, 2 of us adults are staying a little longer, and we have a room-only reservation for 2 additional nights. The reason I did this was because I wanted to stay 1 or 2 days longer to get a cheaper flight back and not pay the dining plan for the last 2 nights.
That's so smart. Yeah.
For my last day, we'll be going to Chef Mickey's, 2 adults, so I've already made reservations. Is it possible to pay at table service restaurants with a Disney gift card? I want to buy one and add money for the meals for it. Absolutely, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Absolutely. Next email is from Mike from Minneapolis, who's
Hey, Mike.
Atomic. What's that?
Hey, Mike.
Who's Atomic Mickey on the WDW Today boards. Hoorah!
Wait for it.
I know.
Wait
Right?
for
There's such
it.
passion.
There we go. You get 2.
Mike writes, I know you folks specialize in Disney World, but here's a question that involves vacation plans outside. Gasp. I know this would never, ever happen, but if you were going to venture outside the world during a trip down there, what other park would you go to and why?
What?
For our next trip...
There's other
my
parks?
my kids have been it's a grill and a cooler? For our next trip, my kids have been making noises about leaving the world to go to SeaWorld or Universal for a day or 2. I guess I'm interested in your personal thoughts on the other parks and how you rank them, and also how to best find them in fold them into a traditional Disney World vacation. I suppose that Kennedy Space Center could also be considered because it's an outside activity. Don't worry about mini golf or Wonderworks or those minor things too much to think about. Now, this is a good question. I mean, I went to Universal earlier this year in May for the first time in many years, and I was really not impressed by it. It took me very little time to get through the whole thing. I really if anything, it made me long for Walt Disney World again because it really didn't do a whole lot for me. And I think it's because of the level of that the bar that Disney sets is, I mean, Disney likes to talk about the Disney difference, and I really saw the difference in that park. Has anyone been to SeaWorld lately?
Yeah, I went back in last year. I went in March or May.
What are your thoughts on SeaWorld, Len?
It's okay. It was better than I thought it was, but to your point, it's not as good as Disney's theme park. So I also went to their water parks, to Aquatica. There is actually part of the water park, I think that is they have like a waterworks part in the back that I think is better than any single thing Disney has in its water parks. It's a really cool sort of jungle gym with spraying water everywhere. But nothing is as themed as in Walt Disney World. So it's not that they can't do rides or attractions the same way. It's that either the story or the detail suffers at the external rides. That being said, I think I really like Kennedy Space Center actually as a day trip. I think Kennedy Space Center is fascinating.
I think that's probably better. I mean, I I think if you're doing the theme park stuff at Disney World, I really would rather. I think I agree with Len. I think the Kennedy Space Center is a great option over there. Plus, you can maybe even do some beach stuff over there.
Yeah. Plus, it's actually different than another theme park. I mean, if Disney's got 4 theme parks and 2 water parks, what's another theme park or another water park? Go do something real.
Right.
Yeah. Just
real man.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Next email is from JD, who writes, this question is for Matt. If given a choice of either riding Dinosaur every day for a week or only seeing Fantasmic from the Fantasmic dining seats forever, which would it be?
What was that again?
Dinosaur every day for a week or Fantasmic dining seats forever? Forever, ever?
Forever?
I would probably say Fantasmic. I don't know, forever is a long time.
Forever, as they say, is a long time.
Yes, that's true. I'll go with Fantasmic just because at least I won't be scared there. I'll just be annoyed.
Awesome.
Even better. Next email is from Tara, the True Geek Will and Geek by Marriage Tara.
Wow.
Right. My husband and I were wondering if there will ever be an iPhone app of touring plans. We would certainly be willing to be your test subjects. We'll be at the parks. Oh, man. Okay, well, never mind. They came twice and we missed it.
Wow. Yeah, but the short answer is yeah. So, yeah, eventually there will be. We're working on it. Give us some time.
Next email is from Bob Weave of
Oh, this is always fun.
Oh, my goodness.
Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio.
Cuyahoga Falls.
Cuyahoga
I'm
Falls.
from Youngstown. Go ahead.
Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. So first of all, I want to say I love the show. I can't get enough of Len's witty comments, Scopa's disdain for children, Newell's man on the mountain guru approach, Annette's joy, and Matt's insert something cool about yourself here. Ouch. Wow, that hurts. I'll be taking a non-Disney cruise out of Miami in July. Oops, welcome back. On the day we return, I have booked a one-way rental from National to get us to the world. I wanted to drop it off at the Swan, but I got a cheaper rental rate if I drop it off at the Car Care Center. Question is, how do I get back to a park or resort from there? I've offered to just thumb a ride, but my wife isn't too keen on that one. I figure it's Disney World, and there'll be lots of friendly people out there. Len and Newell both seem like the type of guys that would pick up hitchhikers.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Why don't you just hitch? It'd be easier.
So what are your suggestions? Is there some sort of formal transportation back to a normal Disney location, or will I need to call a cab? I am nearly 100% certain that Enterprise will drive you back to...
Yeah.
They have a shuttle that'll drive you there. I know Alamo does, and I'm pretty sure they share the same shuttle anyway.
Yeah, I'll do that.
They'll drive you. So you might have to wait a little while there, Bob, but they will get you there. Next email is from Brett Ward in New Hampshire.
Brett Ward.
Cousin Mickey doesn't talk about on the board. Right, so I went to the Yak and Yeti on my last trip to the world. It was possibly the worst meal I had the entire trip. I ordered the duck. It was nasty.
Yeah, no, not the duck.
It was dry.
Duck.
It was dry.
Who gets the duck?
Jerky, and jerky has more flavor too.
It's so foul. You got stuck with the bill too, probably.
That was really pretty fun.
We got the Sear Pot stickers, or whatever they were. They were gummy and nasty. It was so bad, I don't think I'd ever consider going back. There is a certain guy who does another podcast who loves to eat and whose name can be used as a greeting or a curse when you're angry. That guy loves Yak Yeti and even calls it the best restaurant inside the theme park. The unofficial guide gave it good reviews too.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who has this disdain for Yak Yeti, or did I go out there and have an off day?
Yeah, I think you had an off day. I mean, we've heard many good things about the restaurant. That's a shame.
Yeah.
But see, we actually stuck to the. It's funny. We mentioned the I think the chicken and the seafood. Not the.
You're talking about the sit down, right? Not the counter service.
Yeah. Well, the counter service isn't great.
It's okay for what it is.
I've had the best description I've had was actually from our listener Janine, who called it Panda Express, basically.
Panda Express. That works too.
But you had to do it in her tone, though, Matt.
It was Panda Express. Ha ha ha.
Nice.
I think it's time for our last question of the day, which means
you got 5 more minutes.
We got to get Len's story in also.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Actually, I got a couple of things too, so I'll do that.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I got to get this going here. So we got this is the last question of the day, which means I will give Mr. Newell three emails to possibly answer from. One will only be answered today. 2 will be answered at a later time. So are you ready, Mr. Newell?
To grill and a cooler?
Exactly. It's amazing. That never gets old.
Lay it on me, baby.
All right, so here are your options here, Mr. Newell. Your first option is set me up for disappointment, Mr. Scopa, toaster, or irony.
Toaster.
Yeah, toaster is kind of intriguing me right now, so let's go with toaster.
All right, it'll be a quick one here. Last email today is from Tim in Denver, who writes, P.S. Len for president in 2012.
Thank you.
For which country?
Anyway, Tim writes, can I have an ordinary toaster in my Wilderness Lodge bunk bed room this summer? Thanks for the fish.
So long, and thanks for all the fish. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
A toaster. You can bring one. Yeah, I don't know that they're going to kick you out for it, but I don't know if they'll let you have heating appliances like that. And
I don't think it would be a problem. I mean,
I don't think so.
Yeah, it won't be a problem till the smoke alarm goes off.
Exactly.
burn to the place down, you won't have a problem.
You ever in a hotel room when the alarm is going off?
Yeah, it's true.
It goes off in every room. Or
that
every-
is
Don't
one
the
problem right
Newell,
there.
have you ever stayed at the DVC the lodge villas over there?
Yeah,
Have they have toasters over there?
but they have full kit. Those are kitchens, so there's not going to be a smoke detector in the middle of the kitchen. You're
Well, that's
talking.
true. I'm saying is that maybe he could stay over there and they'll have
Oh,
one
if he's
over
staying
there for him.
right, if he's staying in where they supply that stuff, yeah, it's built differently, so you're encouraged to toast in a building like that, but not in a regular room.
Yeah. And
I mean, I know people do it, but I don't know.
don't get caught is what we're saying.
Yeah.
All right, Len. Len has a preview of what's coming up in the 2010 unofficial guide, and I also want to alert all of our listeners that we have the check out the WDW Today Twitter. You can follow us. It's a WDW Today podcast. A lot of you already picked it up on it, but come check it out so that we can amuse you with pictures of our animal pets. So anyway, Len, take it away.
So it's so I get to redo all of the attraction descriptions. I borrowed a couple of them from the guide, but the ones that I felt really strongly about were these. So I did one of Stitch's Great Escape, but instead of it being the typical attraction review, I did it as a breakup letter from Bob and me to Stitch. And so it goes like this: Dear Stitch, we have to talk. We tried to make this work. We really did. But you're just not the kind of theme park character we need in our lives right now. We were happy for you when your parents gave you your own attraction after one mediocre film and TV series. And the ride story about you escaping as a prisoner of the galactic authorities when they tried to transfer you to another prison, we totally get the whole bad boy thing. But no one likes what you've become. What's with all the spitting and burping you do on the audience during the show? You never used to do that when we were just hanging out. And why is it the audience has to sit there strapped in their seats in the dark so the parents can't help when their kids start screaming? Is that what you want? Because it's like we don't even know you anymore. You say you've tried to improve, keeping the lights on low so kids can see what's going on, for example, and making some of the story scenes be less scary, but it's too late. It's not you, it's us. We've changed and we don't want that kind of ride anymore. We just hope we can be friends. Best, Bob and Len.
Wow. Don help you with that one?
Although I think I've repeated key phrases from her. I also did, and it's longer, so I won't do it here. But I also redid Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress as a story about the women's rights movements in the 20th century.
Nice. So now, when does this will be in the new 2010 unofficial guide, which comes out in bookstores when?
It's actually it's a color guide. It's called the Color Companion to Walt Disney World. It's a photo based book that's a companion to the big unofficial guide.
Okay, and that's already out available in stores now?
No. It'll be out in February 2010. February 2010. So a few months.
All right, so check it out on pre-order on Amazon. Do what you need.
Pre-order on Amazon right now. Yep.
Very good. Very nice, Len.
Thanks.
And that'll do it for us today. Don't forget that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. So, you've heard us talk about the tent event where we're all going to be camping in tents.
RVs.
Tents.
RVs.
Duck season.
Rabbit season.
That's great. Wabbit season.
Anyway, if you're interested in staying in one of our tents with us at the Tent Fest, you know what? You can book right through MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. They can take care of all the stuff for you. They'll book you the whole week, or however many days you're going to be there, at a resort with walls and heat and pillows. But then they'll also take care of booking you that one night in a lot right by us, so that way you can be part of the action, part of the fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and certainly MEI and Mousefan Travel can help you do that. So give them a try at www.mousefantravel.com.
It's a tent and an RV.
Very, very well done, Scope. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Lentesta, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, I am Matt Hotchberg. We'll see you on the next show. Live show on Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.